The secret life of aardvarks in the wild. In the twilight hours of the African savanna, when most creatures settle into their evening routines, a peculiar mammal emerges from its underground sanctuary. With its elongated snout, powerful claws, and distinctive pig-like appearance, the aardvark, or Icterapus afer, begins its nocturnal quest for sustenance. Often called earth pig in Afrikaans, this enigmatic creature leads one of nature's most secretive existences, rarely glimpsed by human eyes, yet playing a crucial role in the African ecosystem. The aardvark stands as one of Africa's most mysterious mammals, shrouded in folklore and scientific fascination. Despite being the sole surviving member of the order Tubulidenta, these remarkable creatures have thrived for millions of years, developing extraordinary adaptations that make them masters of their underground domain. Their secret life unfolds in the darkness, far from the attention that other African megafauna typically receive. Yet their story is equally compelling and vital to understanding the intricate web of life across sub-Saharan Africa. Ancient origins and evolutionary marvel. The aardvark's evolutionary journey spans approximately 35 million years, making it a living relic from the Oligocene epoch. As the last representative of the Tubulidenta order, aardvarks have no close living relatives, standing alone on their branch of the mammalian family tree. This isolation has resulted in a creature so unique that early European settlers struggled to classify it, leading to its scientific name Icterapus afer, which translates to digging foot of Africa. Fossil evidence suggests that ancient aardvarks were once more diverse, with several species inhabiting different regions of Africa. Climate changes and habitat alterations over millions of years gradually reduced this diversity, leaving only the modern aardvark to carry on the lineage. This evolutionary pressure has resulted in a highly specialized creature, perfectly adapted to its specific ecological niche. The aardvark's distinctive tubular teeth, from which the order Tubulidenta derives its name, represent one of the most unusual dental arrangements in the mammalian world. Unlike most mammals, aardvarks lack enamel on their teeth. Instead, their molars consist of hexagonal columns of dentine, creating a structure ideally suited for grinding the hard exoskeletons of ants and termites. These teeth continuously grow throughout the animal's life, compensating for the wear caused by their abrasive diet. Physical adaptations for underground life. The aardvark's appearance might seem comical to human observers, but every aspect of its anatomy serves a specific purpose in its subterranean lifestyle. Weighing between 40 to 65 kilograms and measuring up to 2.2 meters in length, including their thick tail, aardvarks possess a robust build designed for digging and burrowing. Their most striking feature, the elongated snout, houses an extraordinary olfactory system. With over 30 million scent receptors, aardvarks can detect termite and ant colonies from considerable distances. This sensitive nose can distinguish between different species of insects and even determine the age and condition of termite mounds, allowing the aardvark to make informed decisions about where to invest its considerable digging energy. The aardvark's limbs represent evolutionary engineering at its finest. Their front feet feature 4 powerful toes armed with sharp, spade-like claws capable of excavating even the hardest termite mounds. These claws can dig through sun-baked earth that would challenge mechanical tools, thanks to their curved design and the animal's impressive muscular strength. The hind feet, equipped with 5 toes, provide stability and additional digging power when needed. Perhaps most remarkably, aardvarks possess specialized anatomical features that protect them during their excavation activities. Dense hair lines their nostrils, acting as filters to prevent dirt and debris from entering their respiratory system. Their ears can fold back and seal shut during digging, while thick skin protects them from insect stings and soil abrasion. Even their tail serves a purpose, acting as a prop when the animal sits upright to survey its surroundings. Nocturnal habits and behavior patterns. As the sun sets over the African landscape, aardvarks emerge from their elaborate burrow systems to begin their nightly foraging expeditions. These creatures are almost exclusively nocturnal, with their activity patterns closely tied to the lunar cycle and seasonal changes. During bright moonlit nights, aardvarks may reduce their surface activity, preferring the concealment that darker nights provide. The aardvark's nightly routine follows a predictable pattern that has been refined over millions of years of evolution. Upon emerging from their burrow, they typically spend several minutes at the entrance, using their acute senses to assess potential dangers. Their large, mobile ears can detect the slightest sounds, while their sensitive nose analyzes the chemical signatures carried on the evening breeze. Once satisfied that the coast is clear, aardvarks begin their systematic search for food. They may travel several kilometers in a single night, following scent trails and investigating promising locations. Their gait appears awkward to human observers, but this shuffling walk serves them well, allowing them to continuously sample scents from the ground while maintaining a steady pace across varied terrain. During their foraging expeditions, aardvarks demonstrate remarkable intelligence and problem-solving abilities. They have been observed testing termite mounds with their claws before committing to a full excavation, seemingly evaluating the density of the colony within. When they encounter particularly challenging mounds, they may return to the same location over multiple nights, gradually wearing down the structure until they can access the insect treasure within. Master architects of the underground. The aardvark's reputation as a digger is well-deserved, but the complexity and sophistication of their burrow systems often go unappreciated. These underground networks represent some of the most elaborate engineering projects in the animal kingdom, rivaling the constructions of beavers and prairie dogs in their complexity and functionality. A typical aardvark burrow system can extend over 13 meters in length and reach depths of up to 6 meters below ground. The main tunnel, usually 2 to 3 meters wide, branches into multiple chambers serving different purposes. The deepest chamber typically serves as the primary sleeping quarters, maintaining a constant temperature that provides relief from the extreme heat of African days and the occasional cold of winter nights. These burrow systems feature multiple entrances and exits, providing escape routes in case of danger. The entrances are often strategically placed to take advantage of natural terrain features, such as the base of termite mounds or rocky outcrops that provide additional structural support. The tunnels themselves are perfectly sized for the aardvark's body, allowing for quick movement while minimizing the energy required for excavation. The construction of these burrows requires enormous energy investment. A single aardvark may excavate several tons of soil to create its home, using only its claws and powerful shoulders. The excavated earth is typically pushed out through the entrance, creating characteristic mounds that serve as markers of aardvark presence for researchers and other wildlife. Perhaps most impressively, aardvarks regularly maintain and modify their burrow systems throughout their lives. They may expand existing chambers, add new tunnels, or even abandon sections that become compromised. Some burrow systems are used by multiple generations of aardvarks, with offspring inheriting and further developing the architectural legacy of their parents. Diet and feeding strategies. The aardvark's diet consists almost exclusively of ants and termites, making them one of nature's most specialized feeders. An adult aardvark can consume up to 50,000 insects in a single night, representing an enormous intake that requires sophisticated foraging strategies and physiological adaptations. Their feeding technique is a marvel of efficiency. Upon locating a termite mound or ant colony, aardvarks use their powerful claws to create precise openings in the structure. Their long, sticky tongue, which can extend up to 30 centimeters, then works like a biological vacuum cleaner, collecting insects with remarkable speed. The tongue's surface is covered in thick saliva that traps insects, while backward-pointing papillae prevent escape. Aardvarks show distinct preferences among the hundreds of ant and termite species available in their habitat. They particularly favor harvester termites and certain species of ants that offer higher nutritional value. This selectivity requires sophisticated sensory abilities, as aardvarks must distinguish between species based on scent, taste, and even the vibrational patterns of insect movement within their colonies. The timing of aardvark feeding activities often coincides with peak insect activity. Many termite species emerge from their mounds during specific atmospheric conditions, typically on warm, humid evenings. Aardvarks have learned to anticipate these emergence events, positioning themselves near productive colonies before the insects become active. Seasonal variations significantly impact aardvark feeding behavior. During the dry season, When surface insects become scarce, aardvarks may dig deeper excavations to reach underground colonies. In contrast, the wet season brings abundant surface activity, allowing for more efficient foraging with less energy expenditure on digging. Social structure and communication. Despite their solitary reputation, aardvarks maintain a complex social structure that researchers are only beginning to understand. While adults typically live alone except during mating season, they communicate through various methods and maintain awareness of other aardvarks in their territory. Scent marking plays a crucial role in aardvark communication. They possess scent glands that produce distinctive odors used to mark territory boundaries and communicate reproductive status. These chemical messages can convey information about an individual's age, health, and recent activities to other aardvarks who encounter the markings. Vocalizations, though rarely heard by humans, form another component of aardvark communication. They produce a variety of sounds including grunts, snorts, and bleating calls, particularly during mating season or when mothers communicate with their young. These vocalizations are typically low-frequency, sounds that travel well through the underground burrow systems. Territory size varies considerably based on food availability and habitat quality. In areas rich with termite mounds, aardvark territories may overlap significantly, suggesting a degree of tolerance between individuals. However, direct encounters between adult aardvarks are rare and typically brief, involving ritualized displays rather than aggressive confrontations. The relationship between mothers and offspring represents the most intensive social interaction in aardvark society. Young aardvarks remain with their mothers for approximately 6 months, learning essential foraging techniques and burrow construction skills. During this period, the family unit may share burrow systems and coordinate foraging activities. Reproduction and life cycle. Aardvark reproduction follows patterns closely tied to environmental conditions and food availability. Mating typically occurs during the dry season, from May to July, when termite colonies are most concentrated and accessible. This timing ensures that young are born during the wet season when food becomes more abundant. The gestation period lasts approximately 7 months, resulting in the birth of a single offspring, though twins occasionally occur. Newborn aardvarks are remarkably well-developed compared to many mammalian species, born with their eyes open and capable of limited movement within hours of birth. Young aardvarks spend their first few weeks in the deepest chambers of the maternal burrow, protected from predators and temperature extremes. The mother's milk is exceptionally rich in fats and proteins, supporting rapid growth during this vulnerable period. By 6 weeks of age, young aardvarks begin accompanying their mothers on short foraging expeditions, learning essential survival skills through observation and practice. The learning process extends far beyond simple foraging techniques. Young aardvarks must master the complex art of burrow construction, predator recognition, and the subtle environmental cues that indicate productive feeding areas. This extended apprenticeship period ensures that offspring are fully prepared for independent life before dispersal. Sexual maturity is reached at approximately 2 years of age, though young aardvarks may not successfully reproduce until their 3rd or 4th year. This delayed reproduction, combined with their single offspring birth pattern, makes aardvark populations particularly vulnerable to environmental pressures and habitat loss. Ecological importance and environmental impact. The aardvark's role in African ecosystems extends far beyond their consumption of insects. As ecosystem engineers, they create and maintain habitats that benefit numerous other species, earning them recognition as a keystone species in many African environments. Abandoned aardvark burrows provide shelter for an impressive array of wildlife. Warthogs, hyenas, pythons, monitor lizards, and various small mammals regularly inhabit these underground refuges. Some species, including certain bat populations and ground-dwelling birds, depend entirely on aardvark excavations for nesting and roosting sites. This secondary use of burrow systems creates microecosystems that support biodiversity in otherwise challenging environments. The aardvark's digging activities also contribute to soil aeration and nutrient distribution across the landscape. Their excavations bring subsurface minerals to the surface while creating channels that improve water infiltration during rainfall. This bioturbation process enhances soil fertility and supports plant growth in localized areas around burrow systems. As primary consumers of social insects, aardvarks help regulate termite and ant populations that might otherwise reach pest levels. Their selective predation pressure influences the distribution and behavior of insect colonies, creating a natural balance that benefits both ecosystems and human agricultural activities. The presence of aardvarks often indicates healthy ecosystem functioning. Their specialized habitat requirements and sensitivity to environmental changes make them excellent indicator species for conservation biologists. Declining aardvark populations frequently signal broader ecosystem degradation that affects multiple species. Threats and conservation challenges. Despite their evolutionary success over millions of years, modern aardvarks face unprecedented challenges that threaten their continued survival across much of their historical range. Habitat loss represents the most significant threat, as expanding human settlements and agricultural activities fragment the large territories these animals require. Traditional hunting poses another serious challenge in many regions. Aardvark meat is considered a delicacy in some African cultures, while their teeth and claws are valued for traditional medicine and decorative purposes. The animal's predictable burrow locations make them particularly vulnerable to hunters who can simply wait at tunnel entrances. Climate change introduces additional complications for aardvark populations. Altered rainfall patterns affect termite and ant abundance, while increasing temperatures may force these temperature-sensitive mammals to modify their activity patterns. Extended droughts can severely impact food availability, leading to nutritional stress and reduced reproductive success. Road construction and vehicle traffic create new hazards for these nocturnal wanderers. Aardvarks often use roads as travel corridors during their nightly foraging expeditions, making them vulnerable to vehicle strikes. Their poor eyesight and slow reactions make road crossings particularly dangerous. Agricultural practices that rely on pesticides pose indirect threats to aardvark populations by reducing insect abundance and potentially introducing toxins into their food chain. The conversion of natural habitats to crop monocultures eliminates the diverse termite and ant communities that aardvarks depend upon. Research and scientific study. Scientific study of aardvarks presents unique challenges that have historically limited our understanding of these secretive animals. Their nocturnal habits, extensive underground lifestyle, and tendency to flee from human presence make direct observation extremely difficult. Early research relied heavily on examination of captured individuals and analysis of burrow systems. Modern technology has revolutionized aardvark research, providing new tools for studying their behavior without human interference. Radiotelemetry collars allow researchers to track individual animals over extended periods, revealing patterns of territory use and seasonal movement. GPS tracking has provided unprecedented insights into foraging ranges and habitat preferences. Camera traps placed near burrow entrances and along known travel routes capture intimate glimpses of aardvark behavior that would be impossible to observe directly. These automated systems have documented previously unknown behaviors, including social interactions between adults and detailed sequences of burrow maintenance activities. Genetic analysis of hair and scat samples provides information about population structure, relatedness between individuals, and dietary preferences without requiring direct capture. These non-invasive techniques are particularly valuable for studying aardvarks in protected areas where human disturbance must be minimized. Recent research has revealed surprising aspects of aardvark intelligence and adaptability. Studies using puzzle feeders and maze experiments demonstrate problem-solving abilities that exceed expectations for such specialized animals. Their capacity to modify behavior based on experience suggests cognitive flexibility that may help them adapt to changing environmental conditions. Cultural significance and human relationships. Throughout human history, aardvarks have occupied a unique place in African cultures, appearing in folklore, traditional medicine, and spiritual beliefs across the continent. Their mysterious nature and unusual appearance have inspired countless stories and legends that reflect human fascination with these enigmatic creatures. In many African traditions, aardvarks are associated with patience, persistence, and the ability to find hidden treasures. Their remarkable digging abilities have made them symbols of determination and hard work, while their nocturnal habits connect them to moon cycles and ancestral spirits in various belief systems. Traditional medicine systems across Africa attribute various healing properties to different parts of the aardvark. Teeth are believed to provide protection against evil spirits, while powdered claws are thought to enhance digging abilities and persistence in human endeavors. Although these practices lack scientific support, they demonstrate the deep cultural connections between humans and aardvarks. Modern African communities living near aardvark habitats often view these animals with a mixture of respect and practical concern. While some appreciate their role in controlling agricultural pest insects, others see them as nuisances that damage crops through their digging activities or create hazards for livestock that may fall into burrow entrances. Conservation efforts and future prospects. Conservation organizations across Africa are implementing various strategies to protect aardvark populations and their habitats. These efforts range from broad landscape-level initiatives to targeted programs addressing specific threats in local areas. Habitat protection represents the foundation of most conservation strategies. Establishing and maintaining protected areas that encompass sufficient territory to support viable aardvark populations requires careful planning and community support. Many existing parks and reserves are being evaluated for their aardvark habitat quality, with management plans adjusted to better serve these underground architects. Community-based conservation programs work to reduce hunting pressure while providing alternative livelihoods for people traditionally dependent on wildlife resources. These initiatives often include education components that highlight the ecological importance of aardvarks and their role in maintaining healthy ecosystems. Research continues to play a crucial role in conservation planning by providing the scientific foundation necessary for effective management decisions. Long-term studies tracking population trends, habitat use patterns, and response to environmental changes inform adaptive management strategies that can evolve with changing conditions. International cooperation is essential for protecting aardvarks across their range, as these animals often move between different countries and management jurisdictions. Regional conservation agreements and cross-border protected areas help ensure coordinated protection efforts that match the scale of aardvark habitat requirements. The future of aardvarks in the wild depends largely on humanity's willingness to coexist with these remarkable creatures. As Africa continues to develop economically, finding sustainable ways to balance human needs with wildlife conservation will determine whether future generations will have the opportunity to witness the secret life of aardvarks in their natural habitat. Their survival serves as a test of our commitment to preserving the full spectrum of African biodiversity, from the most charismatic megafauna to the humblest underground dwellers who quietly maintain the ecological balance upon which all life depends.